Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channels. We are going to start one series with one project. So the project name is called Employment Management System. It is very important. We are going to cover this project with the help of Angulars with a Spring Boot. Okay, and we can say that this is one of the CRUD operations with the Angulars with a Spring Boot. We can learn a lot in this project. Okay, actually we are going to integrate Angular project with a Spring Boot. A Spring Boot, it means API. So in this project I am going to cover what is Angular, how you can develop the UI with the help of Angulars. I am going to cover a Spring Boot for backend API. So in this series I am going to develop backend API also, and we are going to communicate both API to each others. Like we have a Angular, we have a Spring Boot API, and both are going to communicate with each others. So I am going to cover like how to insert the employee data in database, how to read the employee data in database and display on the Angular applications, how to delete the employee, how to update the employee from the UI Angular with the help of the Angulars. So Angular is going to operate everything, and Angular internally integrated with your Spring Boot applications. So those are we are going to develop in this series. So every day I'm going to give you one video. If not possible, I will give you maybe Saturday or Sunday. That time I am free, so definitely I will give you video, and I try to cover this video in very less video so you can understood in better way. And for this I'm going to use one Oracle database to store all the employee data, because this is the employee management system. Okay, and we are going to use so many tools also. I will explain one by one tools, what is the requirement of tools, how you can use these tools. We are going to learn JPA also, bootstrap CSS also. So I will cover those things in this project, and definitely this series is going to be very slow, because we need to discuss a lot in that so that you can understood in better way. My intention is not cover everything. My intention is teach you so that you can understood, you can develop your own, you understood in better way. We can give the response if interviewer ask you any questions regarding this also. So I'm going to cover each and everything regarding this, and I hope you can enjoy this. If you enjoy, please subscribe my channels and join with us so that you can become also part of this. Thank you so much guys. We are going to develop, or you have to develop the Spring Boot application. So here concern is like what you have to develop first. Okay, so right now everyone are doing work on microservices architectures, agile project management system. So it's no need to do everything in the sequence way. You can do independently of Angular, of UI. You can do independently of a Spring Boot API also, no doubt in that. Okay, so if you thought like, if first I want to develop the backend API, and once my API is everything completed, then I will integrate this API with our Angular application. So this scenario is also possible, and it is also fine, no doubt in that. But if you thought like, okay, first I have to develop my Angular applications, and once my Angular application one part or one module is completed, then I will integrate this with the Spring Boot API. So first you develop one part of the Angulars, and those part you are going to integrate. So then you have to develop one Spring Boot application, and then you can integrate this. Okay, so whenever you thought like integrations of Angular with a Spring Boot, definitely first you have to develop the Spring Boot API, then only you can integrate this. Otherwise, in this series, uh, only I am the developer, so I can do anything. And first I can do Angular also, first I can do a Spring Boot also. So but if you understood more, if you want to become some more understanding, so definitely you can choose first UI, develop UI how you want and how your applications look like, and then based on that whatever parameter you take in UI, based on that you can consider in your backend side and you can develop this. But if in the real time, if real time this project is happen, if maybe it's happen, then definitely both developers are doing work independently. Okay, in first day Angular developer started working on Angulars, and in first day a Spring Boot developer are doing work on the Spring Boot API. No doubt in that, both are started independently and it's going on. Okay, once API is completed, he told like, okay, this one is completed, you can integrate this. So once he completed, he given the details of this API to UI developer take these details and try to integrate. Once it is integrated, he can communicate with the our backend. So this kinds of scenario is going to happen. But in our case, in our application, this is also a real time. So first I try to cover, like for example, you want to display list of the employee from the database. So database, so you want to take the data from the database, so definitely you want one API. So I am going to do like, first I will develop one Angular applications. Based on that modules, I am going to develop a Spring Boot API, and I will try to, then I will again come to the Angulars and try to integrate this API. When it is done, then again I develop another modules like update modules of Angulars, update employee modules of the Angulars, and then I will try to develop a Spring Boot API based on that, and then I try to integrate this. So if I do like that, definitely you understood better way. So it is the one of the sequence way is going on. First Angulars, second Spring Boot, and then come back to the Angulars and try to integrate this. So you can understood better, and definitely you thought like, see, okay, this like this is going on like that. So you understood definitely better. So in next video I'm going to create one Angular applications, and Angular applications I will decided like how you have to put headers, how you have to take footers, so header, footers, how you have to do inside the body. So those things I'm going to cover in next video, and believe me, I will definitely develop this project in one of the better way, so that everyone understood, okay, this is the good way to develop this. Okay, and definitely I'm sure you understood. So definitely you need to understood like how to create Angular project. If you don't know, I will cover step by step, you understood in better way. If you know very well, you can skip this video, no problems. Okay, so in this video, how you can create a Angular project. Okay, so Angular project, it means this is the Angular JS. Okay, so if I am the beginners and I don't know how to create a Angular project, okay, what is the prerequisite for this? Okay, so for examples, I am totally beginners, I don't know anything about this, how to create Angular project. So if you don't know anything, you just go to the Angular website. If you don't know React, go to the React website. If you don't know the HTML, go to the HTML website. If you don't know the CSS, go to the CSS website. If you don't know the Spring Boot, go to the Spring Boot website. So make it habit like that, so that you can learn any new technology easily. Okay, for example, so many people having a fears, how can I understood this, because I don't know this topics. Yeah, this language does not have any video on the YouTube. How can I understand this? So for this, definitely you have to go on the official website of this particular technology. Definitely you can understood. Okay, so make habit like that. So this is my one of the concern for everyone. If you want to become a good software developer, definitely you have to follow these rules. And whenever you create the first project, second project, whatever you want to learn, you just go to the official website and you can see this. Whatever our requirement, based on that, everything is available on that. Okay, so right now I don't know Angulars. Just feel like that I don't know Angulars, but I want to create a project of Angulars. How can I do this? So just go to the Googles. Everyone having a Googles. Okay, go to the Googles, and here you can search just Angular. Nothing, just search Angular JS or Angulars, anything is fine. You got one official website, angularjs.org. Click on this. If you go inside the website, okay, you can see here everything is available. Okay, make it little bit small so that you can see everything. Okay, so this is the Angulars. Here he's saying like learn Angulars, try a new Angulars, or download the AngularJS. So many option is there. What do you want? He given one project of Angulars also, everything. Okay, now you have to decide what you want. For examples, I need to understood what is the Angulars. Okay, this is my concern and I want to understood what is the Angulars. So you can see here AngularJS. HTML is great for the declaring a static document, but if filters where we try to use the for the declaring dynamics news IP web application, AngularJS let you extend HTML vocabulary for your application. The resulting environment is the extraordinarily expressive and readable and quick to develop. Okay, so he given our one definitions. He compared with the HTML, because earlier we are using HTML, and HTML is like for the statics. But if you want to make something in dynamics way, so definitely you can go with the Angulars or React. Okay, so Angular is the alternate of the React. You don't want to confuse it. If you know Angulars, it's a alternate of the React, so it's not required to learn both, but if you're interested you can learn both. But right now Angular is too much popular and it is very easy to use also. So many people are using AngularJS also. Okay, so many company also prefer right now Angular only. So React also no problem, but depend on your project. What is your project, how you can decide. So those things we can discuss later, but right now you can discuss only like what we want. So you need to understood what is the Angulars. If you learn, you can go and learn those things. Okay, and improve your what is the Angular, what is the use of Angulars. So Angular is a single web application, single page web applications. So it's look like a one single page, and everything is coming in this page only, replacing only page will replace with another page, and this is the one single page. So for example, this is the one single page, and another page is coming, going, other page is coming, going, other page is coming, going, coming, going, coming, going, like that will happen. It's not going to load every time your browser, so every time it is not going to refresh. This is refresh. So once it's loaded, it's just replace the page. It's not doing the refresh, it's not doing the loaded of the project. Okay, okay, I hope you understood. AngularJS. Okay, so this is the Angulars. So you understood how to learn Angulars. Okay, try the new angular.js, angular.io. Okay, so this is the Angular new. You can see here the modern web developer platforms get started. So get started. So here you can see introduction to the Angular DOS. Angular is an application design framework. So Angular is definitely one of the framework and development a platform of creating a efficient and sophisticated single app page. Before that I'm saying it's a single web page and it's just replace the another page, not replacing, you can say just another page is coming in top of the other page and just going. So like that behavior is doing. What is the Angulars? If you want to learn, you can go through this. If you want to get started, just start and you can do setup in your local. So this video I created for how we can create a Angular application. So maybe it's take time, but you understood better way. Go down. Here you can see setting of the local environment and the workspace. Local environment, it means in your computers, how you can do the work with the Angulars. So first you need prerequisite. These are the prerequisite used to the Angular framework. You should be familiar with the flowing technology like JavaScript, HTML, CSS. If you know CSS, HTML, JavaScript, then only you understood better way of Angular. Otherwise you may be not understood and maybe you do this but you not have a more clarity. Okay, so if you know little bit tag like header tag, what is the CSS property, color, headers, anchor tag, so those things you have to understood. What is the button tag, what is the input tag, what is the label tag. So if you understood HTML, if you understood CSS, JavaScript is just for the dynamically, so you can understood better way. Knowledge of the TypeScript is helpful but not required. It's a helpful if you know TypeScript, super. If you don't know, it's also fine. Okay, for this, if you want to run your application, create on a project in your local system, definitely you have to install Node.js. He's saying here Node.js. Angular require as a active LTS as a maintenance LTS version of Node.js. So definitely you have to install Node.js, then only you can do the work on this. So go to this tab and here you can write Node.js. Okay, and go to the Node.js. Here you can see what is the current version of Node.js. 14.18.1. this is the recommended version. So you can click on this and this is the Windows, you want this one, so just download it. I already downloaded so many. Okay, so I don't want to download, okay, because it's already available in my system. So go to the download folders, you already see. Here you can see Node.js. Where is the Node.js? Node.js. So many Node.js I already installed. Double click on this. He preparing install. He's saying next, 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 and just finish it. Your Node.js installed. You can check your Node.js like node-v version. You can check if it is given in your local in top of CMD, it means it's already installed. Okay, give it next. Don't change anything. It's not required to change. I don't want to change. Change. Just next, do it. It's installed. Please wait while the setup wizard Node.js. It takes some time. He's saying like complete the Node.js setup wizard. Click on the finish and it just Next.js is installed. go to your CMD, and not just given two things to you. Open your CMD. Here you can type node -v, so you can check the current version of Node.js. Okay, you right now installed. Okay, you can check npm is installed or not, so you can check this npm-v. Once it is done, it means successfully Node.js is installed in your system. Next, what you have to do, you have to check what is the next step you have to do. So Node.js is completed. Now you have to install Angular CLI. Angular CLI, it means npm install -g Angular CLI. So copy this, okay, and go to your command prompt, and just here write this and install this npm install -g @Angular CLI. So through this you got one more command, ng. So ng is nothing but it is used to create a Angular applications. Okay, ng new project name. So through this you can create your own applications in Angular. So these are doing setup in my local environment. It is sweet. So finally it's happened, and it's added all those packages whatever is required. Now if you fire the ng command -v, you can see this is working, available commands. Okay, so it is the available commands. Now you can do work and you can create a project also. Okay, so it is done. Just close this, and now if you go down here, you can see run the CLI command, create a workspace and initial application. So create a new workspace and initial starter app. Run the CLI command ng new and provide the name my app. So you don't want to do anything, just copy this. This is a command. With the help of this ng new and whatever project you are doing, just give the name of this project and you can create your project in Angular. You no need to do anything. So first you decide in your system where you have to create your project. So for example, I have to create inside the Angular, inside the Angular app I have a YouTube. So inside the YouTube I'm going to open CMD. You can open CMD or you can open anything, no problems. Here you can open CMD inside the YouTube. Inside the YouTube I have to create this project. So I will give my name ng new Prince project. This is the Prince project. So Prince project is the name of the project. So for us, he created one project, Angular project. He asking you, if you see here carefully, would you like to add a Angular routing? So yes, I want Angular routing. So I will say Y or yes. Okay, he's saying which style sheet you would like to use. Okay, so I want CSS like this CSS only. So I will take, yeah, you can take anyone. Yeah, I want CSS. So which style format would you like to use CSS? He created, and installing the package npm. Once it is installed, our project is created. Let's see. So maybe it takes some time to create our Angular project. So as of now you have to wait only, and these are the important things. Would you like to create a Angular router? So yes, which style sheet you would like to use in, so you can say CSS. Okay. Okay, so finally our work directory is created and our application is created also, so it's done. Now you no need to do here everything. Now you go to your location and you can see inside the YouTube one Prince project is created. See this. If you go inside the Prince project, you can see here the src, node modules, git, all the required folder he created. Also he created some default folder also. Okay, so now you know to learn about like how you can start, how you can run this application. So go down and you can see run the application. Okay, for running the application, if you are in command prompt, you have to change your directory and go to your application name inside your application and ng serve and open. This is the command. Through this you can run your applications. So for examples, if I want to run my applications, this one, so I'm going inside my applications and here I will open cmd. Cmd is open. I'm going inside the Prince project. Okay, and here I just write ng serve hyphen hyphen open. Hyphen hyphen open is used to run your project automatically in browser. If browser is not on, also he will on default browsers. And ng serve node package managers, this is the use to the serve the application. So ng serve is used to run the application. So right now if you see your application is running on, it's take some time. It's the first time only, and once it is started you can see the output on your browsers. Okay, but for the doing the code, changing the some data on your project, we need one editor like VS Code. So we are going to do work on VS Code. So I hope you have to also install in your system VS Code. VS Code is nothing but it is one of the editors like Eclipse. Okay. So you can see here finally our application is run, and you can see the initial chunk file is names. This is the size he occupied for running this application, and he given one link here, and automatically you can see he opened the browsers, and this is your first application, guys. Congratulations, you are able to create your first Angular application. So we are going to do that's it in this video. We are not going to do more. Okay, if you want to do more, okay, do one thing, print here hello world instead of all those things. Okay, so you can change this, but for this we want one editor, so we can see all those things in the next video. I hope guys you understood and you enjoy this. Okay, thank you so much for watching my video, and now I don't want to put this name like that. I want name like a CRUD operation, Angular CRUD, CRUD CRUD operation, Angular CRUD operation. So just I save this application, project created. So it's already running on. So just stop this. Okay, stop this and again try to change this. Maybe you can change Angular CRUD, CRUD CRUD operation. So right now you are able to change this. You can say employee management system. So this application is already created, so we can do work on this or this. So maybe we decided next video and we can plan here to do work on that. Okay, in this video we are going to learn how to create a router and how to create a nav link in the sense nav bar. So how you can create a nav bar, so we are going to discuss in this video one by one. So it's very easy for you to understood how to create a nav bar. Okay, so we can say header. Nav bar is nothing but it's just a header, so we can say header also. So for this we already covered in this series how to create a first Angular application as of now. Next we need to understood for doing some changes, edit some data, we required one editor. So for this I am going to use VS Code, Visual Studio Code download. Okay, just search on Google's, and if you have it's fine, if you don't have just download it, so that's you can do work with me. So go to this place and you can see here, if you are using Windows, click here and download it and just click next. Automatically it's downloaded, you don't want to do anything. Okay, if your system is Mac, click on this. Based on your operating system you can download and then you can start working on that. Okay, so I think I don't want to download because in my system I already have a Visual Studio Code. So I will open my Visual Studio Code. Okay, and you already know we already created one project for CRUD operations. So go to the Angular YouTube. So here I created employee management system or Angular CRUD operation. So anyone you can take, no problem. So in this series we are going to continue with employee management system. So this is also a new application. Okay, so I'm going to open this with this VS Code. So open your VS Code once you installed, then go to the file, click on the file, open folder and go to this path where your application you created and click on this application and just select the folders. So all your application is imported here, employment management system. Okay, so by default this is the structure you can see in your Angular project. Okay, this is the by default structures. Okay, right now we don't have anything, so I already remove. So for your understanding, this is the index.html. here you can add the global change, like if you want to add some CSS, some JavaScript, so you can add here inside the index.htmls. If you are using component, you can use this app.components. So this is the one of the main components. So for example, I want to print hello world. hello world on browser. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to the app.component, whatever is available inside the app.component, remove all those things. I already removed it. So you just write hello world, and then after you can create new terminals, or if your terminal is open, it's fine. Go to here and you have a command to run. So ng serve and -o, it is used to -o is used to run your application directly, forcefully on the browser. So automatically your application, your browser is open and application is running on your default browsers. So for this we can give an O, and ng and serve is used to run your application. Okay, so it takes some times to run. Okay, so this is the work we have to do. Okay, let's go. Generating. Generating the browser application bundles page. So it takes some times for running your applications, and you go to the browsers. If you don't want to go to the browsers, just automatically open your browser also. It's a redirect kind of things which happen. Redirect to the browsers. So once your application is done, you can see here compiled successfully, and ignore live development is, and you can see directly move to your browsers. Okay, and here whatever you given in app.modules.html, it's print data in that place, browser place. Okay, I hope guys you understood very well. Now I want to add here one navbar. I want to add here one navbar. Navbar, it means header. So how can I do it? So you don't want to think too much. Just open your Bootstrap, go to the browsers and search Bootstrap. You get the platform of Bootstrap. Go inside the Bootstrap, open this, and just try to learn how to do work with Bootstrap. It's very easy. Okay, once you go to the inside the Bootstrap, you have to do first two things. Like first thing is copy the CSS properties and go to your application, and I already show you index.html. Inside that index.html you just add the Bootstrap property, so automatically it will work in your applications. So I added Bootstrap properties CSS. I will add Bootstrap a script also. Okay, so I will add a script also to go to this place. Control V or save this. So our Bootstrap property is saved in my application. So right now if you are using any property of Bootstrap, dynamically it's effect, it's doing effect. Now you want one navbar, so search here navbar tabs. Yeah, navbar. Navbar, it means header. So if your page want headers, you can go to this place, navbar, or any things you can copy. For example, this is the navbar. I want this navbar. Okay, do copy this code, whatever you can give in this code here. Copy this code and go to your applications and you open app.modules. Here remove these things, and you can see your navbar is ready. You are not doing anything, you are just going to copy and do it. You can see here navbar is ready. You can see here your navbar is ready. Navbar, home, link, drop down, disable. If you want to see, you can see search button also here. This is the search button, this is the search, everything navbar is ready for you. Okay, now you have to think like what is your requirement. So based on your requirement you can change this. Okay, so I don't want this search button, I just want here two tags. So go to your neighbor application and you don't want this thing. So these things you don't want any button. Okay, so these things you don't want, remove this. If you don't want those things, remove this and go to the down UL, and from the UL remove all those things. Okay, remove all those things. Apart from this, what you don't want, you don't want these things. Okay, so before you will remove these things. Okay, so you can see your now neighbor is very simple look like. Okay, do down. Okay, here you can see your neighbor. So neighbor expand. If you want large, you can do large. If you want a small, you can make it a small. Neighbor you want light or BG ground, BG. So neighbor I want dark, and BG background color I want primary. So this is the bootstrap property, primary color. This is the dark color. So navbar text will become dark and BG primary will become primary color. So it's a blue color we can say. And here I don't want these things. Okay, so remove this. And nav item, and nav item inside I don't want this one also, active or not active. Aerial page also I don't want. href also I don't want. Remove all those things. So nav link, that's it. And we are going to develop. So if based on your requirement you can do it. So for example, I want list of a student. So this is the one link I want, and one more I want. Add a student. That's it. Two tab I want. I just save this and go to your Chrome, and you can see you are able to see two tabs. Okay, and this is the primary colors, these colors, and you can see this is the light, dark light. So this is the hover is heaven. You can see it's look like whale. Okay, so you are able to create a navbar, no problem, no doubt. If you want to make it this bold and this is little bit not bold, so you can do this also. So go to this place, make it bold, and /b. Okay, if you see, you can see list of a student and add a student. So this is the navbar I want. I don't want more than that. It's a fine, and it's look like for me good, no doubt in that. Okay, so this one navbar I want. Okay, it's fine. But if you click in this navbar, it's not working because you are not configure the this component. This is the component actually. So this component is not available also, and you are not configure the router. So in this video I plan to do two things. One is routing and another thing is nav link, yani ki header. So a header is done, As of now header is done. Now I want to implement router. So router, for this I have to create two components. One is for list of a student and one is for add a student here, create a student. So go to your applications and take one more new terminals, and here you have to create something. So something in the sense like you have to create some components. So ng global component, and component is a student list, a student hyphen list. I want to show that page list of a student, so a student list. Okay, so based on that he created 4 component, you can see here, and one is updated. So these are the component he created, those files. If you go to see a student list, 1 2 3 4 component he created, and inside this having a one HTML page also, a student list component.html. So this is the main page where you can do the work and we can show the list of the student. Okay, and this is the file where we can do some changes, we can do some dynamically data store the data, those kind of the things we are going to do here in this page. Okay, one more component I want. So ng global C4 component, and component name I will give like create a student. That's it. So for this also creates the 4 component. So we will see. So this one is also created. You can see create a student, and so create a student, list of a student, both are there. Okay, inside the create a student also is 4 files. One is the HTML page where you can register the student, like register, fill the data of a student and click, so you can register the student data. And here we can dynamically store the student data for this he given us. So every component having a 4 file generated whenever you generate. So this is the very good features in Angular to dynamically develop the component. I also love it. I enjoy also these features. Okay, good. Now we have a 2 component. Now we have to set a router. So router you have to set inside the app.component. Okay, here you can see const router or routes. So here you have to do all the routers because this is the global page for all the component. Okay, so this is the global page. Inside this global page you are creating all those sub page. Okay, so make sure you have to do here only, not in other place. Okay, so this is the router I am going to configure here. So for router you just need to go inside this, take one Angular bracket, inside the Angular bracket write path. What called path colon, give the just what we call end point we can say, or you can say the what the data he given in the browsers, that time you have to redirect those pages. So for example, first I want to redirect a students page, students, students, yani ki list of a student I want to show. So for this I have to take one component colon a student list component, done. So this is the one router will be created for list of students. I want one more router for add a student. So I will take one more add a student, and this is the component. So take component like create a student. That's it. So though two paths I configure for students and add students, and both component I created just before. You see, add a student list component, create a student list component. So if you give add a student list, he maintain like that all those component file like that. Add a student component, create a student component. I hope you understood. Okay, fine. Now you have to go to your nav bar, we can say header, and here you have to configure the router. For example, this is the anchor tag. So here you can give href also, but we have to configure the router. So we have a one router property called router link. Router link. So inside the router link, if you give list of a student, so just give a student. Okay, and here you want to show the page router link for add a student. So add a student. Okay, whatever router you configure, those path you have to give here. Okay, once it is done, go to your browsers, refresh this, and if you click the list of students, you are not able to see anything. Add students, nothing. So it's not redirected. It's not doing redirected. It's doing or not doing. If you see here, he's showing add a student. Is it fine? Add a student. If you click add a student, it's not going to other places. So by default he's showing add a student. Go back. It's not showing. Okay, so something router problem is there. Okay, so how you can configure the router? So for this we want one router. So you have to router link. Router link is a student. This is the student you give him. Router link router. Okay, fine. So this is the nav link, add a student. Okay, so go to the app router. Here you can see students. So if you want to go the student path, take this one, go here and paste here. Okay, so you can redirect to the student page. Go to this place, add a student, copy this and go to this router. So we will give in this wrong name, so you have to give this correct. Add a student, I think it's fine. Okay, now go to your browser. So make sure to give the proper name, so it will work. So you are able to redirect. See here in this place only. See in this place only. If you click add a student, it's showing a students. If you click add a student, it's showing add a student. Students, add a student. Student, add a student. But we are not going to those pages because we already having those pages. Like if you go to create a student, having a page called this page, create a student's work. If you go to the student list, you can see here having a page called student list work. It's not going to those pages. So this is the one of the problem. So for this we have to configure here router outlet. If you configure the router outlet, so this is the better way to configure inside the div. Take one div and inside the div take one class and container. Make it container, container, container. And inside the container you can make it router outlet. So if you make it router outlet, so your page will be redirected also. Okay, not only for the endpoint, also page will redirect. Go to the browsers and you can see here, if you are in the add a student, it's showing create a student's work. If you are in a student, you can see a student list work, create students work, student list work. So this what we want, and we do this. Create a student. If you create in this place, it's showing this one create a student space. If you go to the list, it's showing the list. So in future we are going to implement, like if you click on add students, so it show some form like input field, you have to fill the data, submit it, it's going to the server, store in the database. If you go to the list student, it's showing the list of the students, whatever the registers. So this is the target for this video, and we have successfully configured a router with navlink. Navlink, it means nothing but header with our routers in Angulars we have done. I'm going to implement this list of maybe I will implement this add a student page. Okay, add a student page, so that we can register the student data in database. So these things I'm going to implement. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channels. So as of now in our tutorials we have developed this like router and these two component. So we have developed this navlink, we can say, we can say these are the header we already developed. In next video we are going to implement this add a student page. So inside the add a student page we want one ID field, input field, one name input field, one email input field, one phone number input field, and those data we will take and we will try to send on the server. So try to send our server through this, we want one API. So API will those things we'll do in the next video, but right now we have to understood like how to develop this form, how to take this data, and those data how we can send to the server. So as of now we are going to cover in this video. So let's start now. Okay, so let's start now. So first of all we need to go this page. So this is the add student component. So go to the add student component. Okay, so go to the create student having a add student component, remove this. Okay, remove this, and now you want one div for containers. So we can take just container class equal to container. Okay, and call md is 6 middle. So we can set in your proper center through this. Okay, now we want some form. Definitely we want form, so we have to take one form tag. So this is the form tag we can take, and inside the form we can take class. This one is one of the containers, contai containers. Okay, that's it. Now you want input field. Okay, so before form we have to display one message, and this one is the header. So I will take h3 and I will take h3, and here I will write student register, yeah, add a student, student, student form, add a student from, not from. That's it. A registered student, we can say. If you want to give some color, you can give some color also. So class color, class color red, color COL or color red. So directly you can give the color also. Maybe it's work or not, I don't know. Okay, go to this page and you can see he's showing the add students, but he's not showing like okay, this is the colorful or not. So this is not a colorful, so we have to add some good property. So text color, text color red. Maybe this property is available, so this one is also not available. Okay, no problem, so we'll take later. Yeah, otherwise we have a lots of the things. You can go with style. Here you can take color red. So directly you can do like that also. Okay, and if you go to the browsers, you can see it's reflect. Oh my god, I'm not doing reflects, that's why. Okay, so add a students. Here I want to write one form. So I don't know what is the form, so I blindly go to the bootstrap page, and it's one of the unique way to do the work. And here you can search form control or input form. So you can see form control. Go inside the form controls, and here you can see some input field. So this is the one of the input field. It's look good. I don't want this one, so I will take this first one only. Okay, take this, come back in your application, and once you come back in your application, here you can put how much you want. Okay, so for examples, I want this one only. So for example, label this one, form label. Okay, fine. I want here a student as ID, a student ID. Okay, so I will take here a student ID, and input field, so I don't want that much. Okay, I don't want placeholder. I will remove this placeholder. Save this. Okay, so like that I want some data. So this is the student ID. Next I want a student name. Next I want a student email. Next I want a student phone number. Okay, okay, good. So next I want a student phone number. So copy this and go to next line, paste this. So student ID is done. Student name, student email ID, student email, and next I want student phone number, phone number. So it's also better. and go to the browser and see the reflection. So you can see here, if you refresh your page, here you have to give the student ID, this one, student name, student email, student phone number, this data. After that, I want one buttons. Once if you click on the buttons, those data will collected and go to the service layer, and service through the service layer we can send to the API. So this data we input field we made. Now we want one button, so go to this place and here you just write button. Button is developed. Here you can say register student, register student, and inside the button you can say class. Before that you can say type. So type is nothing but submit type, and class is, so I through the class I will make something better, like btn, change the primary color, it's look good, so I prefer every time this one. So this is the form we have developed. Okay, input field form. Once you click this, it's going to data the service layers. Okay, now we are not taking any data here, we are just develop this form blindly. Okay, now you have to do the work on this, and you have to understood how we can fetch data from this input field. This is the biggest things. Only develop the form is not a big thing, so anyone can develop, but collect the data from the forms and store in one object, that is the biggest task. So right now I have so many parameters: student ID, student name, student email, student phone number, so those things. So I have a 4 variables, so I have to take one class. So I will take one class like ng. I will develop one component of class ng global class, and class name is like a student. So a student is the one of the class I will take. Okay, so this when I fire this command ngg class student, so it's developed 2 component, indicate 2 files, and inside the files we can declare our variables like sid, sname, phone number, email, I mean student email, those things, and we can store on those data, and we can send those data to the API. So those things we are going to develop here. Let's see what happened. Yeah, it's developed. We can see here create a student f.ts. So go down, and here you can see he developed for us a student.ts. So go student.ts inside this, and in this place you have to declare your variables. So how you can declare? For examples, you want sid. So sid is type of sid is anything, maybe student id is a string, so I will take a string only, all those data. So I will take a string and semicolon. Okay, I want s name, so I will prefer camel notation. So s name, so I will take a string semicolon. So like that, I want s email colon, don't forget to write different way, s email, s phone number. So s phone colon equal to string. So we have created some variables, we can see here, and those are the technique to create a variable. So this is not a define, so that's why I make it exclamatory marks. Okay, so like that we can create a variables in class. Those are not initialized right now. Okay, okay, fine, our class is ready. Now I have to go create a student component where we have developed this, our page, input field page. Now from input field page, make sure that you don't want to go anywhere. Create a student inside, you have to maintain all the input field in .html file, and if you go to this place, create a student.component, here you can create your object, because I want to store one object and send to the API. So for this I will create one student. So a student is a student type, stu, a student is a student type equal to new student. So I will create one object of a student. Okay, done. Student's object I created inside the create student component in TS file. Okay, don't create anywhere, otherwise you can confuse. Okay, you have to create in this place only, inside the create student. What page you have maintained, those alternate page is this one, dynamically store the data. Okay, so go to this page and create here only, don't create anywhere. Okay, so we have created one student. Now go to your HTML page here. Okay, and minimize this. Okay, okay, so this is the HTML page, and this is the form. Okay, so inside the form you have to write one method is called ng submit equal to you have to give those method which are going to call and send data, this input field data to that place. So I will save like add a student data. So this is the method I prefer. Okay, ng submit add a student data, and whatever data you want you can set from this place. So id is sid. So go to the student class and see you given S capital ID. So like that you have to maintain. Okay, so go to the input field. So S capital ID, SID, and name also same, S capital ID, and here you have to store the data. So for store the data we want one module, and this is nothing but we can say ng model. Inside the ng models we have to store the data, and data is nothing but a student, not capital, a small, a student dot S capital ID, student ID. So like that you have to do for all the input field. Okay, so take this and do for all the field, and here just change the SID to S name. So So s name, and here also s name, that's it. Go to displays also and put your data. Go to displays also, put your data. Here you can say s email, because this one is the email. So s email, like you can see here, given s email. So give those data so that you can able to see the data also. So s name, s email, s phone. Copy this, put inside the name also, put inside this place also. Okay guys, I hope you understood. And once you click on the submit button, like register a student, this method is called add a student, and those data is going to store inside this component, add a student component. Okay, add a student component. So this is the method, and here you can take all the data. So he pass all those data here, and you can initialize this data. Okay, so how data will come here, if you want to check, like if I simply here I write console.log, and I will pass here this dot student, that's it. Okay, and go to your application, fail to compile, something error is happened. What is the problem? Input field. Okay, form module is not there, so we want form module also. Okay, so for this we want one form module, and form module is you are unable to see here. Okay, so import the form modules. This is the page. So go to the app.component.ts, this one, app.model.ts, and here you have to import one form modules. Once you import these form modules, your app will be work, and you can see here Prince Kumar, and student email I will fill pk@gmail.com, and student phone number I will fill 741552049, and go to the incognito, just this mode, and go to the console. Okay, clear your console. You are unable to clear also. So fill all the data and try to submit this. Okay, so once you submit it, we are not getting any data inside the console. So this is the problems, and these problems we can resolve, like here we have to put this ng submit inside the one bracket, and then after this data is goes to this create app module.ts files, and here you can display in the console. Okay, just save this and go to the again browsers. Okay, go to the students page and again fill the data and submit this. You can see your all the data whatever you given this, it's displaying in the console. Now we are trying to send this data to the API. So for this we want one HTTP client. Okay, so let's move further. So we know our data is coming here, and we understood our data is stored in this student reference. Okay, now we have to create one service, and through the service we have to send those data on the server यानी कि API. Okay, so let's take second terminals, and here we have to create one service. So ng generate service is for service, and you can give the name of the service. So you can say student hyphen service. Okay, so this is the name of service, student service. It's created some files for you, so through this file you can do the work on that. Okay, so in this file I am going to create one methods, and those methods I am going to call inside this create.student.components, and we will send the data to the API. Okay, so you can see here it's created two file for us, and the name of this file is student service. Okay, student service. Okay, fine. So go down, you can see here student service. So you have to go in this student service.ts file. Inside this what we want API base URL. So take the base URL, so maybe HTTP, like http :/localhost 8081, anything port numbers he given to us, and one more thing he given like a student. Okay, so this is the our API base URL. And once you configure the base URL, you create one methods, and method is called like add a student, and inside the add students create these methods, and here you can observe this like dot observable. So before going to do anything, you need to understood here we want one HTTP client. So HTTP clients you want here. So for this you have to import HTTP client modules in app.module.ts file. So go to this place, you already doing this form modules. So now take HTTP client client module. It's not given, no problem. So do one thing, if it is not given, give like HTTP, so @angular /common /HTTP. So inside this package is available. So make sure or don't forget this also, otherwise you can face how much I face the problems like that. So HTTP client module, it's imported. So once it is imported, go to the service, student service, and here you can import your service So what is the service like that? So for examples, I want so take private HTTP client, so make it HTTP client. Okay, so HTTP client having lots of methods. Okay, so here someone is passing a student data, so student student. We want to insert this data in database, so this one is a student type, student student type. So take this student also, and once it is done, your base URL is also done, and your base URL is done, your HTTP client is done. Now HTTP client having some method to call our what? Through this you can call your observable. So obser dot observable. So we want observable also, so just forget right now and try to do like that. So return HTTP client having some method, so make it this dot HTTP client dot, we want post method because you want to send a student data to the server, so post. And here you can take these symbols, and inside these symbols we have to take this data. So data is nothing but you have to take base URL, so this dot base URL, so make it here dollar this dot base URL. And once it is done, okay, expected 2-3 arguments but not okay, so no problems, comma student, send the student data. And once you send this data, whatever data he send you, you can subscribe those data and store in the database. Okay, so this is the post method. Through this is the post method. It's so same post method is available in your API, and this is the base URL in the sense whatever you given here. So this is the API base URL endpoint, and you can pass your student. This is the object whatever you got from this method. So these methods I am going to call through our create service component. So go to the create service component here, without doing the log. Okay, do one thing, call these methods. Which one method? So first you have to create this reference for this, so call like a private and a student service. So student service colon student service. Okay, so this is the service we created. Through the help of this service we can send data to the service layer. So here you can write what we can write here, add a student inside this, or maybe you can call here also, no problem. So I will call here, so it's maybe fine. So here you can call add a student data. So you can call like this dot student service dot add student is the methods, and here you can pass this dot student object, and once you pass this dot subscribe whatever data you got, make it data you got. Based on that data, print here alert, and inside the alert you can print string data, insert successfully, otherwise you can see here error, one error message, and you can say one more alert, and through this alert you can display insertion fail, unable to insert student data. Okay, so through this you can do. So this is not a big issue. This is the ending method, not this is the class ending. So this is the method end. Okay, fine. So here he created data. Okay, update this and close this. If it is error alert unable to do this, so remove this one also. Okay, so if you see it's working or not. Okay, so go to the service class here, and we expect like here data is coming. So here you can display console. So console.log, if data is here inside this, it means data is going on good. So here you can display a student. Okay, and right now we are not mention any observable. Here you can mention also dot observable. It's not showing right now. Okay, no problem, take it by default. Go to this place, add a students, add some data. First go to the inspect mode and fill some data. Once you filled, try to register. You are able to see data. It means this data is going to the, and also you are saying that sorry unable to insert a student data because API is not developed right now, so we are unable to insert this data. Okay, I hope guys you understood, and I hope you enjoy this video. In next video we are going to develop one API, and this is the base URL for the API, and through this we are going to send this data, call this through this we can call to the API, and API will give you API is able to take this data, student data, and insert in database. Thank you so much for watching my video. As of now, next video we will meet soon. Thank you so much. Bye. Any doubt you can ping me. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channels. So as of now we have developed these Angular applications, and we have configured these routers, and we already made one form to store the data and send those keep this data and send this data to the API server. So our form is ready. It's now able to send the data to the server. Just we need one API. So for this we have to do work on that. So in this video I'm going to develop API so we can integrate those Angular application with our API. So both are going to communicate with each others. So let's start now. So first of all we need to understand like how we can develop the API. Okay, it's not a big thing, it's very small things to develop API, but really we have to understand. Okay, we need to understand. So for example, if you want to develop any API, we have some prerequisite. Make sure in your system having a JDK, make sure in your system having a Eclipse, make sure in your system having some database, then only you can do the further work. For example, if we started the Angular, so prerequisite is like Node.js have to install, npm have to install, Angular client have to install, then only you can create the project, otherwise you can't create. So like that we have to do work for that also, and we want some prerequisite like Eclipse ID. So we are going to develop two API in this video. One is just store the string data, okay, and second is give the list of the string data from the API. That's it. So for local setup we want STS or Eclipse, any one you have it's fine, or IntelliJ. For database we want Oracle or MySQL. So I hope you have, and JDK is a prerequisite if you are a Java developer. Okay, let's start now. So I'm going to use STS. Okay, if you are using Eclipse, so please, if you are not able to create a Spring Boot project, so you have to put one STS plugin inside your Eclipse so that you can able to create a project of Spring Boot. Let's start now. So I have also Oracle database and MySQL database, so I am going to use in this video Oracle database. Okay, it's fine, and STS ID. So I'm going to open my STS ID. This is my STS ID. Yeah, if you open Eclipse it's look like this only. Okay, now how you can create API means how you can create a project for API. So it's a very simple. You want to create a one Spring Boot project, that's it. So go to the file, new. Here if you search you are unable to see anything like Maven, Gradle, anything. So click on others, and here you have to search a Spring Starter project. If you search a starter, it's given a Spring Starter project. Click on double click, it's open new Spring Starter projects. If you are unable to see a Spring Starter project, you have to add one plugin, and it's required when you are using Eclipse. Then definitely you have to add one plugin, STS plugin. You have to install from the marketplace. Where is the marketplace? If you go inside the help last button having a this one, I will show you. Go to help, go to Eclipse marketplace. If you are using Eclipse and you are unable to see this option, so go to here you can search STS, and STS any version like 3, 4 it's come, and based on that you can download. It will work for you. Okay, so I hope you understood. Here you can search STS and just hit enter. You got some STS version, you have to install this. So then after you are able to see here any STS like this one, Spring Tools 3, this one you can install. Okay, and you can start it working on. And once it installs, you can restart your system, restart your Eclipse, Again go to the new file, new, and others, search here a starter project, and once you got a starter project, double click on this. Okay, click on this, click on next. You can see this file. So we have to develop one project. So I will give the name like project name, so a student management system, a student management system. I am going to use Maven, not Gradle. I am going to use Java 11, jar package, Java language, com.app, student management system, and description is CRUD app. Okay, com.app, it's fine. Go to the next. Now here you have to decide very carefully, like which dependency you have to take and why. So here you have to make big decisions, like how can I decide which dependency I want to take, which dependency I don't want to take. So many people are the confused here. So you have to know about what is the specific work of particular dependency, then only you can do the work in further. Otherwise you can maybe lag of some of the problems. So here you can see, here is the search button. You can search anything, whatever you want. So right now we are going to use a Spring, we are going to develop API. So for API we need a Spring web. So I mark this. If you are unable to see here, go to this place. Here you can search a Spring web. You got a Spring web. You can see, you can click on this and that's it. Okay, it's coming here, it's saying selected. Maybe in our project have to some middle class, and those middle class I have to develop setter, getter, constructor automatically for only with annotation. So definitely I will take Lombok. So I will take Lombok. I want to run my project automatically. Whenever I change some class name, whenever I change some variable name, it's automatically reloaded. So for this I will definitely use a Spring Boot DevTools. Okay, so DevTools is used to reload our application automatically whenever you are doing some changes. Okay, fine. I don't want ThemeLeaf because we are using Angular. ThemeLeaf is like dynamic HTML, so we are not using this, so we can ignore this. Okay, don't use ThemeLeaf. So I will unselect this. Okay, now we have to decide, you want to use MySQL drive or Oracle driver. So right now in our case I am going to use Oracle driver. So select Oracle driver. So Oracle driver and your application have to communicate with each other with the help of JPA, a Spring Data JDBC, a Spring Data JPA, Hibernate, Simple JDBC. So many things is there, but I am going to use JPA because this is the very easy to maintain everything. So this much API I require to develop API. Okay, yeah, REST API you can say. Once you selected everything, click on next, click on finish. It's take some time and it's created project for you. You can see in the bottom, import getting a started content 26%. So this will created one project for us. Inside the project we are going to create one REST API, and those REST API have to do work for us. So lots of the things we have to do. Okay, so as of now we understood like how to create a project for REST API and a Spring Boot. We can say both are same, both are same. Apart from this, we need to understood how it's work, how it's communicate to each others, and when and where we have to do the operations. So for this we need to understood this structure of this project, how we can understood. We have some certain way to understood this also. Let's finish this. My net is slow. Whatever dependency you added, based on that he downloaded all the jar. You no need to go to the Googles and download jar and attach with our project. It's automatically happen whenever you add the dependency. So this is the benefit for the programmers or developer to add just dependency. No need to add anything. Automatically jar will taken by our project. It's saying downloaded source and Java DOS. Okay, fine. Go to our project. You can see this is the structure of our project. We need to understand where we have to write the code. So you can see this is the pom.xml. Whatever dependency we added right now, before that, all are the available inside this. We are using the Maven project, so that's why he given some Maven file. This is the target. Whenever you run your project, it's generated some var file, jar file. So it's available in the target. SRC, your personal code, whatever you write for the REST API. Target generated code, target generated annotations, Maven dependency, all are available here. JRE system library, we are using Java SE 11. And if you want to write some test cases for our controllers, you can write inside this SRC test Java. SRC main resources, inside this you can configure your Oracle database, or you can change your port number. Other application also, like if you want to communicate your application with some other application, so you can add those configuration here also. For examples, I want to take something from the Git or GitHub. So definitely I have to give the path of this, and we can access through the path those data. For examples, I want to communicate with the Oracle Cloud, Amazon Cloud, Google Cloud. So definitely I have to use here the path, and then I will communicate with this. So this is the technique, and this is the better place where you can easily add your path. You can change so many things. Okay. So I'm going to configure our application in this application.properties files. So let's first add the port numbers, because okay, so automatically, so you just write port, it's given server.port. You can give your any favorite port number. Okay, it's done. Now you have to communicate with your database. Whatever you have a local database, you have to communicate with this. Then definitely you have to give the specific like user ID, password, and database path. So that's why he connected with this. So I will give like URL. So URL is nothing but data source URL, Spring data source URL. I will take this one, spring.datasource.url. okay, I will take username, spring.datasource.username. I want password, so I write password, spring.datasource.password I want. Where is the data source? This is the data source, but remove this one, password. Okay, fine. So if you know, it's good. If you don't know, you have to remember this. Okay, for example, I want to give the path of this. My database username is prince, PRINC, prince, and password is also prince. So I will give in both same. If you open my MySQL, this is the MySQL, run SQL command line. So connect prince, this is the username, and prince, this is the password. It's connected. So like that you have to test also. And this password, user ID password I given to our application, I want to give path also. So one more things I will check, student management. A student management system. This table is available or not? So this table is not available, so I will give this name also only. Okay, so go to our application here and give the path. So path is like JDBC colon Oracle colon thin colon @localhost. Okay, you are unable to see localhost @localhost colon XE. That's it, not XE. Localhost colon 1521 colon XE. This is the port number also. Okay, so our application is connected, and if you want to check this application is working or not, and this is connected with our database or not, so for this you can test your application. So go to the src main java resources, and inside this having a by default one class, open this class, and here you can print something like sout and say something student management system project. Okay, once it is done, run your project and check it's working correctly, fine or not. Once it is working fine, you can go further and you can do the work on that. A Spring Boot app, you have to run like that. You can see your project is running good. It's connected to your system also. Okay, so everything is fine. No problems, it's running on. Okay, go further and do something. What we have to do next? Okay, this is the question. So you have configured this properties file, no need now, no need now, no, one more things you have to do. For examples, you configured everything. You want to create model class object automatically. For this we have to write some configurations in a properties file. How you can write this? You can write like so the SQL command, for example, which command he created your tables automatically. So spring.jpa.showSQL equal to true, and you can specify one more things like auto. spring.jpa.dda.auto, and you can configure here like update. So if table is available in your database, then it's not going to create new tables, and if it is not available, definitely it will create it. Okay, so this is the use of this spring jpa hibernate dtl update and spring jpa show SQL. So if you want to see the query, like which query he is using to create a table, which query he used to insert a data, so you can see those things also. Okay, now our application dot property is done. Now you need to create API. How you can create API? So before going to create API, we need something like what can I say? We need we are not going to use service, because service is different things, DAO is different things. So directly we are going to use repository to communicate with our database. So I'm going to do this. So before that we have to create one model class. So click on this, right click, Control N, and select the class, and here you can give the model. So this is the model class. So I'm going to change package name. Here I will give a student. Okay, so I will create one model class of a student. So here I am going to use model Lambak use. Okay, so I will create private int sid private string s name. So whatever name you have taken inside this class, which class? Student.ts, like sid, s name, s email, s phone, same thing you have to take in your backend also, otherwise maybe you are facing some problem. So take sid, s name, and you can take private string s email, private string s phone. That's it. I want setter getter for this, so I will write here @data. It's automatically generated setter getter for us. I want some constructor, so all are constructor. I want one no argument constructor, no are constructors. I want to change the table name, table name is, I will give student management system. I want to make this class as an entity, so automatically it's make entity and automatically object will created for this. And I use dev tool, so it's automatically whenever I save, it's automatically run. You can see here. Okay, done. And this one should be primary, you can say, or if you mention @ID, so it will become primary, so it's also fine. Okay, automatically will happen. You can see here refresh is happen. So based on that, he created one table, hibernate create table, system sid number null email varchars. So table we created, student project management printed. Okay, like that happened. Now we want one repository. What we want? Repository. So I will create one repo package. This is the model. Now I want to create one repository. So interface, I have to take interface, and this one is the repo. So I will take a repo and student repo. So this is the interface, and I'm going to use JPA repository. So JPA extend JPA repository, and in first parameter we have to pass what is the table name, I mean what is the model class. So model class is a student, so take a student, and model class ID is integer, so take integer, not a small letter, capital letter integer. Okay, once it is done, you have the power, so annotate this also as a repository. Repository is ready. Now we can develop the we can say API controller. So go to the com.app, and one more thing, refresh your project, and you can see com.app.model is created having a one model class. Com.app.repo is created having a one repository, just now we have created, and com.app having a one by default classes. Now we are going to create one controller. Controller, it means REST API. So this one is class. So I will class name is student REST controller, student REST controllers, and I will put here REST controller. Okay, so REST controller packages happen. Now here whenever you create any REST controller, you have to annotate this as a REST. So REST controllers we have to write here. Okay, now you want to create one API, and those are able to store the data in database. So you have to create one method, public student add a student, and inside the add a students you have to take data from the Angular. So this is the response, you have to take this data in request body, student student. Now we have to return this, so directly I will save this return. So before that we have to auto add a repository, so private student repo student repo. You can see here, so we have auto add the student repo and we are created these things. Now we can store data in database. So student repo having a methods dot save methods, and you can pass your student directly. So this data is going to insert in database. And for access this method we need to annotate this is the post mapping and parameter is student add. This is the parameter you have to take. So students is added in database. If you need one API, those are used to display list of the student in database. So you can write one more API, REST API, and here you can say list of student and get all student. Okay, import this. List is imported. And now here you can return student repo dot find all. Okay, so this is the two REST API we want to create in this video. @get mapping, because it's sending the data to our browser, so we can say /student/get. Okay, student/get, student/add, student/ anything you can say. Okay, I hope you understood. And otherwise if you use post and if you use get, so it's also fine. You can use like that also. It's automatically identify. Okay, and this is running on. Our API is ready. Our two API is ready. I hope you understood. Our two API is ready. But how this our API is understood? Who is called me for send some data and fetch some data, store some data. So for this we have to annotate this @cross origin origins equal to we have to give this path, your application path. So copy your application path, go to the Spring Boot app. Here you can give your path. So we don't require this one, just add, and this one in double quote. Okay, so it's identify easily. It's running up. Now you have to you want to integrate this, so you need to maybe change some path. So go to the student service.ts. here you given http :/localhost 8081/student student. Yeah, it's fine. And you have to send the student data. Once you send it, you have to see this. Okay, let's try to communicate with this. So for this we need to run your application. So this is the 10 Prince Kumar. Try to register. He's saying student data insert successfully. It means data is registered. If you want this data is given Prince Kumar, go to your Oracle database, and here you can see your table is created. Okay, perfectly. And now you want to see data, so select a star from system, and you can see your data also. So S email, S name, S phone numbers. Okay, where is the data, man? SID, S name. Some data is came, but we are unable to see. I don't know why. Okay, no problem. Do one thing. You can access your API with browser, and you can see the data also, because you already made one more API na. So localhost, and here you can give 8081/student. So he will fetch your data and so here. So here he given null, 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 because your data is not going to insert. Okay, so this is the problem. S name, S phone number, S email, S ID is 0. So we need to identify SID. Okay, why it's not going data? Before going to save, here you just S out and student.toString, so that we can see what is data is coming here or not. Okay, and now go to your Angular project, Ctrl+Shift+I, and check why data is not going. Okay, and one more time try to register. Data is going here. Sorry, unable to insert a student data, because this is the primary key. We need to change. Okay, go to the application, and here you can see some duplicate IDs. It's fine, no problem. But when you send the student SID, S name, S email, S phone number, all are going null here. 0, S name null, S email is null, S phone number is null. This is the problem. Okay, so how it's going to data, we need to understood. Okay, so at the request body student, we are sending data, it's printed data, request body student, post mapping, it's also fine. Okay, so as of now I think it's fine. it's a REST controller. He is able to. So just before I got this clarity why we are facing this issue. So issue is nothing but for example in Angular we have a one model class. Okay, right? Student.ts. So student.ts having a some variable sid, sname, semail or phone number. So we are sending this object exactly to the server. Okay, and in our server side we already have a one model class, and those are also the same like whatever you mention in your we can say whatever you mention in your front end side model class, and you are sending those model class directly to our backend. So backend should be, yeah, must be the same variable and same name, so we are not facing those problems. If you do some different kind of things, then definitely you get some null value and data will be inserted but null. Okay, so avoid these problems, and if you want to do some better way, so do the our follow the some standard rule. So just before I change this one, you can see sid, sname, semail, phone number, same to same I make it in our model class also. sid, sname, semail, phone number, number, string, string. So like that you have to mention, then definitely it's work. Okay, so my application is already up, this one Angular application, and my server side application is not up, so I will do it up. See this, run Spring Boot app, and this is the problems only we are facing. Okay, and just before I deleted, drop this what we call table name. So drop table as ms system, and now I'm going to insert new data. Okay, so our application is up. Okay, backend application. Now I'm going to through the front end. So this is our front end. Okay, here I am going to use some ID like to name is Prince Kumar, and student email is like pk22@gmail.com, and phone number is nothing but 7415520049. So this is my phone numbers, and I try to register this student in my database. Okay, it's not a big task. We are doing CRUD operation and it's very easy also. We can see here student data inserted successfully. It means this student is inserted. Okay, and once it is inserted, go to your Oracle and just write select this command. You can see ID is 2, pk email ID Prince Kumar, this is the data. If you want to store one more student, just refresh it, give it 1, student name is Alok, email ID is ak@gmail.com, and phone number anything whatever you is. You can see student data inserted successfully, and data is inserted. So this is the one of the student form. Yeah, we can say add a student form, and through this we are trying to update, yeah, insert the data in database through the Angular or our Spring Boot application. So I hope you understood in better way. Later I am going to do something better way, like once it is registered, this page should be redirected to the list of the student page, whatever you can see on your Angular applications. Okay, so in next video, yeah, in coming video I am going to develop those things, but as of now we just need to understood how our Angular application is going to communicate with our Spring Boot application. Okay, so let's take some times and I will discuss these things in a very easy way. For example, this is the one form. So in my Angular application we have a one form called a create a student components. Okay, so we have a one HTML form. Say this, this is the one form. You can design these forms with whatever called, we can, whatever you have a CSS or bootstrap, you can use, and you can develop a decorated one forms. And once you develop the decorated forms, you just put some button, and once your form is ready, now we have to think about, you have to collect the data of this form and send this data to where, this one, create a student component.ts. Once you send in this place, and we already created object for this, so you are setting your form data, input field data, to this object. Once it is setted, you are going to call one service in the sense Angular service, and this student service dot students, and we are passing your student object. If this is we are doing subscribe, it means if he given some response, it means data inserted. If he given some error, sorry, unable to insert the data. That's it. Go to the student. Here you can see this is the service. Service is nothing but, this is the one of the, we can say, get, put, post method of the HTTP client. Through this we are going to communicate Angular with our Spring Boot application. So this is the, like we are doing work with the HTTP client. So HTTP client is a global format, and it is capable to communicate with our browser to our application. Okay, so this is the technique we are using. And here I have written one method, add a student. We are passing the add a student's data here in this method, and I have written observable of object and console.log, so it's print in our console browsers, and return this .http client.post. So HTTP client having a get, put, post, delete, whatever method we required, all methods are here. Okay, and we are passing the base URL. So we already having this base URL. This base URL is nothing but our API. It means our Spring Boot application, and we are sending this object directly. So those object is going to the receive here in our application. So we have a one controllers, and we have already annotate these controllers as a cross origin, whatever browser will call with request. And once it is done, he called this one post mapping. We are going to receive the object, and once we received, we are going to print this in this log, in our application log. So we can see here whatever data you send it, it's coming here. And what is to come, we have already JPA, a student repo JPA, and through this we are going to save this data in our database. That's it. If you fire one more command, you can see the ak@gmail.com alloc and our whatever the information you given, so it's registered. Okay, so like that you can see and you can develop this application. So please don't forget to follow me and enjoy this tutorials also, and goodbye. In next video we are going to develop how to display list of a student, whatever students are available in our database. Okay, so let's try in the next video. Thank you so much for watching my video. Bye. Accept the data also channels. In this video we are going to learn about router, like how to use router in our Angular application. So for example, in these tutorials we are developing one Angular applications. Here we can say one student management system. So those applications I am going to use this router concept. So I hope it should be very clear and you understood very well. Okay, so let us understood the problem. What is the exactly problems we are facing right now? For example, this is our one of the Angular project, and in this project having two tabs. One is add a student and second is list of students. This is the default. Whenever you start your application, you are redirecting to this page, a list of a student page. And if you want to go to add a students, you can go directly add a student. Here you can see add a students having some field. Here you can add the student data in database directly. So I want, like, whenever I fill this data, okay, and once I submit or register these students, I have to redirect in second terminals, I mean this page, list of student page. So how can I do this? It's very simple. You have to use the router. Without routers you can do, but it's a very difficult way. But router is very important here. If you want to redirect, if you want to go one page to another page, then router is very important. Okay, so let's understood. So I have given one id 6. I will give the students names like Jyoti, and email is jy@gmail.com. phone number is nothing but anything you can give. Okay, and once I try to register this Jyoti, I want to redirect list of student page. This is the scenario I have to develop. Okay, so for this I am going to develop the router concept. So right now if I click here, it's saying student data insert successfully, and right now I'm not redirecting to another page. So for this we have to write the code in Angular, so that you can, once a student is registered, you have to redirect to the another page. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so for this you want something like what is the page name. First you know to understood what is the page name. So our page is like this one, a student register, add a student page. In this page, whenever you submit this data, all data is going to this page. Okay, I hope you already understood. So we are creating one student object and we are calling to this one service. So whatever service is there, student service, add students, and we are passing this student object to the API. Okay, in Angular service class, and then after the Angular service class with HTTP client we are passing the data to the server. Okay, so this is the concept we are doing. But now I hope you've seen this data, student data inserted successfully once a student is registered in database. So then after you want to redirect. Okay, so for this you have to write one methods. Directly you can write also, but better to prefer the method, so it's a better way. Like go to list of a student page. This is the method I have developed. I will call this method here. How can I call this? This dot go to a student's list page. That's it. So I have created one method, and right now this method is blank. So I have to write logic inside this, and once we call this, it's directly redirect to another page. So if you want to implement this method, go to the student list page. You want one router. So for router, you have to declare those router कि I want those router object in this class, in this component. So for this you have to write here comma private router of router. Okay, you can see here this is the router. So you are able to get the object of router, and through the object router you can call one method navigator. Navigate. So through this you can navigate one page to another page. Okay, so go to this inside your methods, and this dot router dot navigate. Navigate inside you have to write the path. So navigate is one of the method. Inside these methods you have to give one path, and you can give those path like a square bracket. Inside the square bracket, in single quote, you can pass the page, whatever page you are getting right now. So see this page. If you want to go this page to this page, you have to pass this data. Okay, a student slash student. You don't want to change the base URL, so just here you have to write students. Okay, it will do work for you, nothing else. Save this. Once you save this and you already called here, so make sure one more things you have to make sure. Go to the app routing component, and here you can see कि path student, whatever you give right now, is there or not. If it is not there, it can't work. So make sure you have to give here path, like path students component is students list component, path add student component is create a student component. So this is the router. So you can create router like that in your Angular application. So router is nothing but it is one of the technique to redirect one page to another page, that is called router. I hope you understood. Okay, let's see our output. So go to our this page. This is the by default page. Go to the add student page. Here you want to add some data, so I given 4. I want to give some name, so I will give Ajay aj@gmail.com, and whatever mobile number you have you can give. And once you register this student, it's saying okay, student data inserted successfully, and directly it will redirect to this list of student page. So this is the technique to redirect one page to another page with the help of router in Angular. I hope you understood. So whenever you required, like whenever you think like okay, once this thing is done, then I have to go to this page, then definitely you can take the help of the router. That's it. Thank you so much for watching my video. Bye. Welcome to my YouTube channels. In this video we are going to learn about like how to display all the student data whatever available in database to display in our Angular application. So we are going to cover this part today. We can say this is the select operation we are going to perform with Angular application. Okay, so exactly what we are going to do. For example, you register any student here, okay, and you want to see how many students are already registered in database. So you don't want to do anything, you just go to this tab and you can see whatever students are available in our database, you can see here, and we are going to populate this data in that place. So let's start now. Okay, so first of all you need to understood, for display the data you need one table format, definitely. But before that, just imagine, for example, you have lots of data in your database. So this is my database. I will show you. This is my table name, and in this table having those many data. If you see the table name SMS, student management system, this is the table name I have given, and this much data is already available in our Oracle database. Okay, and those data I want to display in our Angular application. So first, for example, you have a data in database, you want those data, then definitely you have one API, and API responsibility is to communicate with the database, because if you do the work with Angular, it is little bit difficult for the Java developers. So we are going to do with the Java API, we can say Spring Boot API. So I am going to develop one more controller, one more method, and one more API. Those API is responsible to take data from the database and send those data to the browser. Okay, for example, go to my Eclipse, and here you can see in before video I already developed these methods. See this, @get mapping a student, this is the get mapping, this is the post mapping. So you can put both URL same, but method is different. Okay, okay. Second is list of a student we have to return. through this method when student repo dot find all having a data in database. Okay, so we are already written this method inside this student controller, so we no need to do anything. Okay, just save this. Okay, so we already have a one method, and those method responsibility is to take data from the database and display on the browser. So for this find all method we are using, and student repo, if you see here, it directly responsible to talk. So we are using JP repository. Student is a one of the model class, and through this model class we are fetching the data, and this is the model class you can see, and this is the annotate with the entity. So this is the table name, so directly it will communicate with the database. So for examples, I have this controllers and I want to hit this one. Don't worry, you just go to the browsers. Here you can search localhost 8080 because this is the port number 8081, I think. And if you hit you can see whatever students is available in database, you can see here in your browser. So right now you are able to see those database data in your browser because of the API whatever I have developed with the Spring Boot. But you want this data in one of the particular format in your Angular application. Then what you have to do? Nothing. You have to hit with Angular application this URL. Once you hit this URL, he given lots of the data of students, fetch this and display on your application. That's it. Okay, so for this I want to display all those data here. So I am going to use something like for example, if you want to fetch data from database, you use Spring Boot applications, and through this you are fetching the data. Okay, so we have a data, we got data in browser. So what you have to do in your application, go to your application. For example, this is your application. Go to the service class. Where is the service class? In down you can see student service.ts we have already created. Here you have already created one add students. It is working. You want one more methods, and those method responsibility is get all student, get all students, and here you have to write observable. So ob observable, and you don't want object, you want here list of a student. So you have to pass here a student array. You want a student array, so pass here a student array, and then after write this. So observable a student of array, right? A student of array, and inside this method you can return return this dot http client dot get. Whatever method having a in our application, you have to pass those method as it is. Okay, okay. Why my camera is just stop sometimes here? Okay, get method, and inside the get methods, before the get method you have to specify कि I want a student array, and here you have to pass the base URL, and base URL is nothing but dollar, and here you can pass this dot base URL. That's it, and semicolon is required. You don't want to forget it. Okay, so get all students is able to fetch the data from the now our API. We already connected with this, so you just have to write the method, nothing else. Okay, so this is responsible to fetch the data. Now this data you want in list of controller component in HTML file. So you can't send data in HTML file directly. First, this data is you have to take in a student list component. So this method you have to call inside this list student list component. Okay, once you call this method, he return list of the student. Okay, so go to the list of student components, and here you have to create one student array. So for example, I want a students students, students, and a student of array equal to array. So this is the empty array I created, and you want to call this student service method. So for this you want those object. So first private student service colon student service. That's it. Okay, you created this one student service, and inside this on ong on init you have to call whatever the method is available in student service. How you can call this? Just this dot student service dot get all student, and here you have to subscribe, and inside the subscribe you have to write data. This is called lambda expressions, and just store those data, whatever data he sends in students. You have already students array, so store those data directly here. That's it. So you fetch data from the database in your Java application. Java application send the data in your browser. It means you can say your application, your service, and service through you are getting the data in your component, and in this component, so this component you can read in your application, like student.list.component.html file, this file. Okay, how you can do this? So now data is available in this section. You want data in HTML. Right now it's not available in HTML, so you want in HTML. So if you want to display the data in one table format, so definitely you want one format. So for this format, go to the browser and search Bootstrap. Every time I am using Bootstrap only. It's very good for me and for my understanding also. Here you search table, and once you got the tables, click on this, go down. He given some source code. Copy this source code. You don't want to do anything, just copy this source code. Go to your application, whatever you have a application, paste inside this application, and go to the browser. That's it. Go to the browser, refresh your application. You can see the data. You can see the data. This is the data, but I don't want this data. I want whatever the API is given the data, whatever we fetch data from the database, those data I want. I don't want this data. So for this, just go and remove. So this one section you want head, you want this section also, but you don't want this two extra. Okay, so remove as of now, and once you remove it, here you have to write like student ID. So SID a student name. So a student name you can say, okay, a student email, a student phone number, student phone number. That's it. These are the data you have in database, you have to display here. So one more things you have to do in body part, you have to populate list of the student data. So in tier tab you have to write, it's a angular one variables. So just write like a star and a star ng for equal to, in double quote just write let a student of students, students of students. Students of a student. That's it. So you have already data, you fetch this data, you can display here. How you can display? Here you have to write y double times, because here y I am given double times, one is for the object and one is for the data. So I have to write here a student dot sid, okay, and remove this one, give double and student dot s name, do it copy paste, okay, name, then phone number, no email, then phone number. As phone number. Okay, that's it. These are the work you have to perform, and you can see all those data. Go to your browsers and you can see whatever data you stored in your database, you can see here. For example, I'm going to add one more record, and those record is nothing but I'm going to give some name 56. Here I will give Nana, and the student email is like na@gmail.com, and just give the some phone numbers. Once you give this and just click on register, data inserted successfully, go, you can see the 56 Nana and Nana details. So these are the techniques, and you already mentioned the redirect to the directly in this page, and you can see all the records whatever the students you registered just before. Okay, so this is the technique you can do it. I hope guys you enjoy it and you learn something new to develop this project. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm just doing fetching the data from database with our Java application through this one. Okay, and this is capable to communicate with your browser, and our Angular application is capable to communicate with our API. So I have written the code in service like get all students, here return HTTP client having one method get, he is able to communicate this base URL. Base URL is nothing but this one, http://localhost 8081 student. So this one, once you hit, you got list of a student. He returned this list of a student, where in a student list component we are receiving this student data, and we are store those data in that place in this object, and this object we are trying to populate all those data in HTML file, this file. So we have created one, this is the one of the tag. Through this tag you can say let a student is a one of the variable. Here you can take anything, student, s, or anything of a student. Is this one is the, this word is nothing but whatever object you mention here. If this one is s2, then you have to make sure here s2. Okay, so those object, and this is a one of the variable. So one by one we are trying to store the one student in this student. स्टूडेंट से एक स्टूडेंट निकाल रहे हैं बस, तो एक लूप का काम करता है. ng for is nothing but it is a one of the loop. So he will take those data, students data, one by one and store in this variable student and try to display here. That's it. We are doing this work. Okay, so I hope you understood and you enjoy those things. So okay, one more things, I don't require this one. Why he's saying row? Okay, td and td, write this td. Okay, td, go to your application, so it's look little bit better. If you want to do some modification in your tables, go to the bootstrap. Here you can see what you want. Based on that you can specify. For example, I want to use this one. Okay, so just I will take this one. I will take this one and go to our application, and in the main tag I will give this. No worry about it. If you go to your application, you can see like different color. So this is the power of bootstrap, and you can see everything in the one of the best way. So this is the SID column, student name column, student email column, student phone number column. So like that we have to develop all those application later. Okay, so our register students operation is completed, display list of student is completed, our router is completed. In next video we are going to add here one button is update or one is delete. So if you click on delete button, you can delete this row, this particular row. So if you want to delete any particular row, any record of the students, you can delete in one click. So I am going to develop update. You can update also, you can delete also. I hope you understood, and we can see all those things in the next video. Thank you so much for watching my video. Bye. Welcome to my YouTube channels. In this video we are going to learn about how to create a button in Angular, and in those button, if you click, it will perform some action and redirect to the another page, and in another page you can read the data from the database and show the data on this page. So we are going to handle these things in this video. So actually I'm going to develop one here in this place. I'm going to develop one action. Action, it means update action. For example, you want to update this particular record. Okay, you want to update this one particular record. So for every records I'm going to put one update button and one delete button. So one by one I will cover each and everything, but right now in this video we are going to learn like how to put here one update button, and if you click on those button you can redirect to the one another component called update student component. So let's start now. Okay, so for this we have to develop some Angular configuration. So like first I am going to develop those buttons, so you can see, and once I click on the button, so you can redirect to those page. Okay, let's see. So first of all, for example, we can see all those data whatever you are you can see here in this page. So these are the page like SID, student name, student email, student phone numbers. So like that, I'm going to take one more column called action column, and those action inside this I'm going to develop one update button. Okay, so it's a very easy, not a big task. So here you can see a student phone number. Copy this one and just paste it, and just change the name student number to action, SCTI action. Just go to the browser, you can see one action column is created. That's it. Okay, but one action is created, you want some data also. What you can do it? So go to this page, and you already mentioned those things. So go here, and here you have to develop one more tab, and inside this tab you have to put two things. So first I will create one update button only. So button, close, this one is a button. I want to give the name for this update is a button. I want to give the class name. So class is nothing but btn hyphen info. Yeah, primary, anything you can take. So I will take info. Go to your application, and you can see update button is created for each and every record. If you click, it will not work because you not implemented. So let's go inside this and learn about it in depth. Okay, so first I have created one button and I put it in this browsers. Next, what you have to do, you have to perform the action when you click in this button. No problem, you can do it. How you can do it? You in Angular, you have a one event called click, CLICK. Click equal to, in double quote, whatever you write. I mean, whatever you are going to write, it will do work for you. So it will whatever you method, you have to give the here method name. So method name will call based on this component ts file and display the component. Okay, answer. So for example, I want to put like update student method I am going to create, and in this method I am going to pass student dot sid. That's it. So student dot sid is a one of the method. Whenever you click on this, it will work. Okay, so go to this student list component based on the component file, ts file, and inside the ts file create one method. Method name should be same like whatever you give in that place, and here you can declare the method, and you have to pass like sid colon is nothing but number, so you can receive the number right now. Done. So whatever data you pass based on this HTML file, student.sid, you have already student.sid, you read this data, this particular ID, and based on this ID you can send those methods. You can send the instruction to this method, and this method is capable to receive number. It will receive. Okay, and once it is received, it will do two things. It will pass your data to another component. Yeah, you can say, you can, if you have another component, so you can call directly, or you can do with the help of the router also. So right now I'm going to take the help of router. So just here you can write one console.log, and just you want to check if we are getting SID or not. Okay, that's it. Save this. Once you save this, go to your browser here and Control Shift I. Once you press Control Shift I, you can able to see the console, whatever the action is going to perform. Clear this. Through this you can clear all the console. And for example, this student ID is 2. If you click update, it will display 2. If you click this one student, it will display ID 56. It means it is working. Very good. Next what you have to do, you have to pass this ID to the one router. How you can pass it? Very simple. Before going to pass, you have to do two things. Okay, so take the help of the router. So we have a one router. So route this dot router dot navigate where this dot router dot navigate of array where you have to navigate. You can do two things, like you can here pass update student, and then after you can pass comma SID. Okay, because you already have SID. So once you call this, it will go to the navigate. It means it will go to the app.routing.modules place. So copy these things. Okay, copy this one and first create one what we call, first create one model. It means take one more help, new terminals. So this is the new terminals, and you can just write ng is a Angular, and generate component and component name. So update student. Once you click it, it will generate for you some component 4 file for this, and you can do the work on that. Very simple. But make sure your system is connected with internet. Okay. After then we are going to develop those component, how to display the data and how to you can edit it. So those things I will cover in this video. Generate component, ngc component update student. Okay, it will do. Okay, once it is done, your component is created. You have to go in the app.routing.modules, and here you have to specify one more path. One more path is nothing but like see this student component is created. Update student component, create student list, update student. Here you can see update student component is created. So then after go to this router, click on this, paste here, and in this place you have to write these things, not these things. Okay, here you have to pass update student. Update student list means whatever you passed in this parameter, like update student. So go to this place. List of student, no, whatever you passing here, this one, update student name. Go to this place. Inside this router you have to specify which path you have to redirect. Give this path update student, update student, student slash colon sid. That's it. Once you give this one, you have to specify the component name, so you have to update this one. So just write update student, update student component. Okay, save it, and once you save it, you can test also. So go to your application. It's saying right now failed. Okay, no problem. Something is error, you can say. Okay, update student component student, update student. Okay, take this one and replace in student list.ts file. Update student. Once it is called, you have to redirect to the router, and once you go to the router, again you have to redirect. Okay, for example, in create student.ts we have a one router. This is a router, router.navigate single quote slash students, like that you have to do. Okay, so in list of students also you have to redirect. So go to student.list of student.ts, read the SID numbers and pass this add SID. Here take single quote. Single quote. So actually there is no issue in this code, but actually cookies problem is happen, so I just remove this one. Again I stop this our application, again I off this, then it's working fine. Okay, so you don't need to worry about it, it's very simple. Okay, so once I go to the browsers, and you can see because this is the path and we are right now in this path. Once you click in this update button, you can go to this page. Okay, page name is called list of students, so it will work as we expected. Okay, but right now one more problem is there. So if you go to this base URL only and if you hit enter, you can see this data only. I don't want like that. I want like if you hit this one, we want to display this page by default. So for this I am going to configure one more path. How you can do it? Go to app.routing.modules, or here copy one more, just paste it and give here only slash and student list component. Call this student list component for this. That's it. Now even if you go to the base URL, go and refresh it, what will happen? Path, save it, path colon slash agar ho, nothing will be there, so redirect to this page. If you don't have any path, okay, maybe remove this one. Okay, without any path, student list component, yeah, student component, by default this page, and once you click it you go to the student list component also. Okay, now you go to this page, you can see by default this page, hit this, you can see this one. If you create on this page, you can go to students, you can come back, you can do whatever you want. Okay, so it's a very simple to manage it. Okay, next what you have to learn, like if you click this place, you are going to update student work. This is one of the another component we are displaying here, and I hope you already understood like what I am doing before. I have created one button and I have make this button as a click event. Once you click on this button, you can redirect to this routers, and this router is able to call this component student update student component. Update student component, you can see only one thing is there, update student work. So because of this you are seeing these things, but I don't want these things. I want to see the form, and in this form we can fill the data, and you can display the update those data also. So before going to update the data, I have to do two things. One thing is, first read the ID, and based on the ID fetch the data from the server and show in this component. Once you show this in component, and then after tell to the user to edit based on your requirement. Previous is this one, if you want to change you can change it and you can update it. That's it. Okay, so fine. So for this what we have to require, you have to create one form. So remove this one. Okay, and we have already one form called create a student. So this data you can reuse in your update student also. So go to the update students.html file, and whatever you have copy, just paste it. So add the template of the component update student component. Okay, go to this place and create a student component, copy, Control A, Control C, and come to the update student.component.html file and paste here. Just paste one times, and then after you have to do change based on your requirement. So for example, if you right now see, so in a student HTML file you created something like add a student form. Just make it a small so you can see everything. Okay, you have written add a student form. I will told update a student form. Yeah, update a student. Update a student, and inside this I have created one method called add a student data. So I will update this one like update a student data, update a student data, and this method should be, must be, not should be, created on your update.student.components file. Make sure, then only you can fetch the data and you can see the data. Okay, done. So you have created one update student data, and one more things, like in this form we are reading one data called one student data. So you have to create one student object. So a student equal to new student. Okay, So I have created one more object here, and one more things, when router this router will call, it will pass one SID to this update student component. So this ID also I have to receive and store in update student component.ts file. So for this I am going to create one more variables, and variable name is called SID not declared equal to number, so that we are not getting any error. Not ID colon equal to not colon. Okay, done. Our form is also ready for like this one, update student component form. If you want to see, you can change one more things here. Submit equal to primary but not register update student. Update student. Go to your application in your browsers and click any of the update button. You can see the form update student SID, SNAME, email, phone numbers. But this is a blank form. Update form, it means it's not a blank, it should be some data, because you already have some data you have to populate here in this text box, and once user is modify based on requirement, you have to store those data in database again. So those things how you can do it, it's a very simple way to do it, but you need to understood how you can do it. Okay, so right now you can see all those forms are the blank, but I don't want blank, I want some data here also. How can I do it? Very simple. Simple, it means go to your this update student component.ts file. Okay, inside the ts file, whatever router will send one SID number, you have to receive it. And once you receive, for example, he sent one ID to you and you want to store SID in this place. So where you get this ID, you can get those ID here, but for you are receiving through the router or URL. So for this you want, what you want some like you can say you want router, active router, like that things, then you can do it. So for example, I want one active router, so private active router equal to activated router. So this is the one of the things. So here you can do like this dot SID equal to this dot active router noxative activated, active router कह सकते हो. So this dot active router dot snapshot dot params, and inside the params you can pass, I think you can pass like that only, in single quote SID, and read the data. Once you read it, you can do console also, and you can print console.log of SID. That's it. Okay, done. So check you are getting here SID or not, because you send this SID through this param. Which param? Inside the app.component.router, this one SID you send it. Where you send this one? With a student list component. Here you send it this id, this one id. Where you get this id? You get those id through this method update student. Where you call this update student? Inside the list of the students, this method you called. Because of this you got the sid number. Let's see what will happen. So go to your this application, go to student, control shift I, remove this one unwanted things, click on any update button. You can see 2 times id. It means one is in a student list component and one is the update student component. So we are displaying this 2 times. Okay, no problem. Now based on the id you have to get data from the server. Okay, so for this you have to do some work. So go to the update student.ts file, and you already have a sid. You already have a sid. So if you already have a sid, you want to read data from the server, then what you can do it? You have to create one more service classes. You already created, I think. So go to this place, and here private student service, student service equal to student service. So you have created one student service. Through this student service you can call here, you can call this method student service here. Inside this on into only, so you can call this dot student service dot get student by id. Okay, get student by id dot subscribe of data, whatever data those are send, whatever data those are going to send, you have to store those data in this dot student equal to data. But right now you have not created this method. So quick fix, declare a method in getStudent by id. Yeah, so call this method and also pass here sid. So sid also you pass here, getStudent by id, pass this id and go to the student service.ts file. Inside this file you can see one method called getStudent by id. So go to the down, paste it, getStudent by id. Here you don't want to throw anything. Okay, here just receive one sid is nothing but one number. Receive this. Here you have to subscribe, observe, observable, which type of the data you are going to send or which type of the data you are going to receive. So just receiving whatever data will send the API, those things you have to mention here. So student type of object I want. Okay, and here you can see like return, we have to return this dot http client dot get method you have to call, and inside the get method you can specify student type of the data you want, and inside this you can give this one quote, and inside this one quote you can specify dollar, and inside the dollar you can give the path. What is the path? you can give the path this dot base URL, and then after slash one more dollar, one more open bracket or SID. Pass this one, close this one. That's it. But right now this method is not available in server side, where whatever API you called, so those section also you have to do it. So go to your API. Okay, so this one is already running on, so I will create one more method like public student get student by ID, or get student by ID, then after open this one, and here I will receive one SID. So how can I receive this one? This one is a get method. So get mapping I will specify. Inside the get mapping I will specify the base URL is student, and then after I will specify one SID with query, and I will receive those data with the query param, a path variable. So receive the data with path variables, give the name called SID, and int SID. Once you give this one, call the repository. So student repo, dot find by ID. Okay, find by ID, or here you can pass SID dot get. It will return optional object. So in this optional, if you call get, it will return your actual object and just return this statement. So return, that's it. It will do work for you, no need to do anything. Okay, done. As of now I have done these things, and go to your application, you click any of this, you are not able to populate the data. Okay, fine, maybe some problem is occurred. Okay, so what we have to do is you have to do like whenever you read the data in our file, you are returning the HTTP client, return the base URL, SID you are calling. This is the get method. SID. Okay, fine. ID, a number, anything you can say. Where you are doing work. SID get student by ID. Fine. So you have maintained this one, student / SID. Yeah, fine, no problem. Now you have to see the request, what you got right now. So here you have to just write console.log and print here SID you are getting or not. Once you getting, go to this place where you call this update student component, and update string component .ts file, check whatever data you got. So console dot log what is the data, student, check it like that. Okay, I hope you understood. So these are the things we need to cover. Okay, so just go to your application once, and once you go to your application, see this, click on any one alloc, and you can see ID is 1, name is alloc, ak@gmail.com, and 87, this one is the number. So you are able to populate the data in this checkbox. If you click on this update, you can see these details. So whatever students you want to update, you can update it through this one. So hi guys, welcome to my new video, and in this video we are going to discuss about like how you can update whatever data you can change here, like Ajay Kumar. If you want to update it, you can do it. Okay, right now if you do, it's not work because it's not implemented. So as of now we just created the structures, and you can populate the data in this update form. But in this video specifically, whatever you change, based on that we have to send to the server, yani ki API, and store those data on the database. So those things we are going to do in this video. So let us enjoy. So first of all, we already know we have created one update student component. So through the update we are filling the data, we have changed the data, and we are store those data in this part, in this variable, like student variables. Now what we have to do, we have to take this object and send this object to the API server. Once you send to the server is capable to take this data and store this database, and once it is inserted, he will give some response. Based on that you can display ki yeah, inserted successfully, yeah, updated successfully, and then after you can proceed the another page. So those things we are going to do. So we have already created one update string data, and this method is available inside. You can see this form controller update string. We have a specify one method update string data. So once you click the update string button, update string button, it will take whatever data you change here, it is going to store in this place. Update string. So student here, student object reference. So you just need to call object, you just need to call the API and send this data. So how you can call this API? Is there any way? Yes, we have a one service. So create a service. So we already have a one service. So this one is the service. Okay. operate student. So inside this method we are going to call one service method and send our object. So how you can call it? This dot student service dot update student, update student data. It's one of the method. Inside the method we have to pass one parameter, this dot student. So pass those data, and here you can subscribe also, subscribe, subscribe of data, whatever data response is given. Based on that you open this curly braces, or here you can print one alert. Inside the alert you can say updated successfully, updated successfully. If it is not updated, maybe in any case if it is not updated, you have to print error. Error is one variable, so error star alert, and in this alert section you can print something like that, error okay, that's it. As of now that's it. Later we can implement else also. Just wait. Save this one and create this method, because this method is not as of now in service class. So we already have a one student service. Okay, so go to the method and just click on the quick fix and declare the method, and go to the student service and here you can see we created one method. Copy this method, come back in last, paste it, remove this line because this is not required for you, and we are getting the one student parameter. Here you have to write observable observable of a student, because you are getting a student type of the data. So a student, and here you can return this dot http client dot post dot, inside the post you can specify a student also. So a student you can give this parameter and dollar base URL. So this dot base URL, and once you give the base URL, after then finally you can pass the student object. No need to worry about it. Whatever you are doing for the add a student, same to same you have to do for the operator student also. So you can see this dot client dot post dot student, same thing, this dot base URL dollar this dot base URL and students of the data. That's it. And we already have a one post method, so you don't want to write for the backend code, so it will take care about it. Okay, and you have developed this one. Okay, one more things we need to do is like go to the update student component, and once it is saying updated successfully, then we have to redirect to one more another page called just select. So you need one router here. So we have active router, but I will create one more router. Okay, so private router colon router. Okay, through this router we can call here this dot router dot navigate, and inside the navigate you just need to pass in single quote one slash. Okay, yeah, otherwise you no need to pass anything, also it will fine. Okay, just see. So you can redirect to the slash page, like whatever your base URL is, there you can redirect to those pages. Otherwise you can pass here a student, so you can pass student, student page. Yeah, students, whatever he mentioned in this app dot component dot routing. For example, you want to go this page, so just copy this path. Okay, and where you want to update it, go to update a student, here you can pass it. It will redirect to those page, no need to do anything. Okay, so I hope it will work for us. So go to this student page, this is the by default page. I want to update the Naina record, so click on update, and I want to change the Naina name to Naina Kumari and click on update. It will saying updated successfully, and if you go Naina Kumari, it will updated, so it will work as expected. For example, sometimes it will not updated, so maybe some problem. Okay, so for this you can print some negative error message like error, and error is like alert, and inside the alert you can print just sorry, unable to operate. Error alert unable to update. I think something is wrong. So error dot console, something is wrong. So pass this comma error error dot console dot, so error is one of the variables. Okay, so how you can do it? You can write error alert. No problem, no? And inside the alert you can pass some data like good, sorry, not updated. So that time you got some wrong value, go to your console, you can see, oh my god, something is wrong. What is the wrong here? Okay, you inserted this error, because of this it will not working. Okay, so I think you imported wrong things, so that's why it's maybe saying like that. So I want to update Alok, so I given Alok Kumar, and I will change something here in number also, like 74520049. So I am able to update both things, and once it is updated it will redirect to the this page. So it means our all those things which are working as expected as of now. So update is also completed. Now I have to implement for the delete. So I will take one more button here for delete all the records. You just click on the delete record, it will delete it. Thank you so much for watching my video.